Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today. This is your preview for Brentford versus Chelsea. It's a North, bloody hell, I hope not. I hope it's not a North London derby. Please, Chelsea, don't become a North London team. We might actually become worse, but it's a West London derby. I don't know why I had North London in my head there. Living rent-free, clearly. Brentford and Chelsea, West London derby. Literally Brentford just a little bit down the road. And this is actually going to be an interesting game. And why? Because Chelsea right now are 11th in the Premier League table. It's mad how we've normalised that. Can we just mention that again? Chelsea are 11th in the Premier League table. And now we've said it so many times over the last 18 months that it's become normal. Now we just say, all right, Chelsea are 11th. But yeah, standard. This is incredible. So we're 11th. Brentford are 16th in the Premier League table. And if we're going to look at the points, I want to make sure that I get the points correct. So as it stands right now, Chelsea 11th on 35 points. Brentford in 16th, 25 points. Brentford have been playing, how can I put this? Horrifically. So it's pretty crazy. They've lost 6 on the bounce. Yeah, they've lost 6 in a row. They lost to West Ham 4-2 the other night. They lost to Man City 1-0 at the Etihad. They lost at home 4-1 to Liverpool. They lost away at Wolves they beat Wolves 2-0. So they've won 1 in 6. That's the stat. They've won 1 in 6. They beat Wolves 2-0. They lost to Man City 3-1. They lost 3-2 to Spurs, and they beat Nottingham Forest. And then prior to that, they lost to Wolves. Drew to Wolves, lost to Palace, lost to Wolves, lost to Villa, lost to Sheffield United, lost to Brighton, beat Luton over in December. So you get the gist of how badly they've been playing. Well, the record against Chelsea, Brighton's head-to-head with Chelsea, is actually pretty shocking. In the last 6 games, Chelsea have won 1. Let me repeat that. The last 6 Chelsea versus Brentford matches that we've had, home and away, combined, the last 6 games, Chelsea have won 1. We've lost quite a lot of those too. So this is where tomorrow might look pretty straightforward on paper. It's Brentford. They're playing really badly. They're 16th, but Chelsea are coming to town. I can't even say I'm confident. I want to. And look, if Brentford, you could argue like maybe seasons past, were performing better than we've seen this year, you could argue that it would be a tight game anyway. If we were talking last season before, where Brentford were finding themselves, we were seeing Brentford in that 9th, 10th position, 11th, basically where we are now. And they finished above us, if I'm not mistaken, last season. Did they finish above us last season? Let's find out. Let's check. So, Brentford did. Yeah, they all did. Brentford finished 9th. So, and Chelsea finished 12th. Fulham finished ahead of us. Everyone finished ahead of us. The only London team that didn't was West Ham. And we only finished 4 points ahead of them anyway. So if you were talking last season, you could argue that, yeah, Brentford, yeah, it's not going to be easy. They're playing better than us, so they're going to do a number. This year, they've been really bad. Really bad. So what's going to happen? Listen, Chelsea, like I said, in 11th, we absolutely cannot drop points. And we go to Brentford tomorrow, which is a ground we don't have great history in, and it's we just don't know what's going to happen. We genuinely have no idea. It's like today for a prediction. I can't give you a prediction. Again, I genuinely don't know. I didn't give you a prediction for Leeds, and look what happened. You know, thank goodness Conor Gallagher came in clutch in that last minute, because if he didn't, who knows what would have happened? We might be sitting here contemplating about being knocked out of the FA Cup. It could have gone so left because the game was so bad that we can't play like that again. We just can't. But who's to say that we won't? So this is where it gets all a little bit sticky. And how is it going to go? We genuinely don't know. So there's that. I do want to talk about two things. Firstly, the press conference. Shout out to Ray or Saraya, if you want to call her Saraya. Shiraz on her Twitter. Go and follow her, because she's the only one. And I want to give a shout out on here to Saraya, because at the press conference, all the journalists that are there, mainstream guys, we're talking old school journalists here as well. You know, people that really should know better, like Gary Cotterill. Really, you know, he works for Sky Sports. You really are trying to dig up some sort of a headline about what Gary Neville said? Who cares? To be honest, I think Gary Neville was right. Personally, he was right. But there's nothing to it. Yeah, billion pound blue bottle jobs or whatever he said. Well, that's true. For the Carabao Cup final, that's exactly what happened. We were a billion pound blue bottle job. We were. 100%. So I'm not even contemplating that. But what headline are you trying to find? What do you want Potter to say? Sirai, on the other hand, asking him questions that the fans genuinely want to know about. The right questions. Questions that are going to pressure Pochettino into the answer. Questions that are going to make Pochettino go, oh man, I wish no one asked that. That's the sort of questions that you got to ask. Not something about Gary Neville. Who cares? So shout out to Saraya for the press conference, and each press conference he's always asking the correct questions. Keep it up. Much respect to you. And yeah, happy days, because managers need to be held accountable. When it's going good, they're held accountable for praise. When it's going bad, they're held accountable for critique. It's as simple as that. And right now, it's an absolute mess. So those questions are absolutely correct. If we're talking about the latest at Chelsea Football Club, before we actually jump into the match preview for the team news and the lineup, I want to show you this. So today, Fabrizio Romano said Chelsea's priority is to decide and review at the end of the season about Pochettino. Let's see on the next games. They want results, and pressure is on since 2 months ago. Liverpool, Chelsea and also other clubs appreciate Ruben Amorim, who has a €30 million release clause. Also goes on to say Chelsea do not want to sack Pochettino this season. This is the plan. Not during the season. It will come towards end of the season where that is going to go down. We know. Ruben Amorim. Like I've said, this is why, look, personally, the short list that we've had, or the names that we've been linked with, I think have been horrific, except for Ruben Amorim. Ruben Amorim, as far as I'm concerned, like I've mentioned, I still think needs to hit the target for this season. We need to know that there's consistency in this manager, because he's won the Portuguese league. He's got to the final of the Europa League. Happy days. He's won the cup. Brilliant. He has a chance of doing a treble this season. Now, I'm not saying go and do the treble, but I want to see a genuinely good league run. I want him to win the Portuguese league. At the same time, I want to see him win that Europa League. If that happens, it shows us that he has European pedigree on a consistent basis, that he can compete domestically through an entire campaign. And if he adds the Portuguese Cup onto it, then happy days. You've done the treble. That's something that I don't think even Mourinho did. So, look, to be honest, happy days. His style, the way that he plays, I got to say, I appreciate the balance. I like it. There's a very nice offensive style to his game, but at the same time, it's pragmatic and it's solid and it's in a formation and a system where you're trying to concede the less amount of goals as possible. That is a balance that I personally appreciate and want in a manager. I don't want one manager to be the complete extreme. I do want to see a great solid defense, and I want to see some goals too. I want to see us actually go out and make sure that we stick to our plan and we win. But at the same time, I don't want us to just be making stupid mistakes for fun. I want proper organisation, and I want us to have a plan, whether that's offensive or defensive, but I want us to have a plan. And I want us to execute it correctly, defend well, and score goals. That's what I want. Ruben Amorim, as well as Xabi Alonso, I feel like provides that balance. So far, I want to see how he ends the season. Because so far, so good for someone like Ruben Amorim. But we need certainty here. So this leads me on to the next point. Why are we doing this? Matt Law says Chelsea are to set up club-wide set-piece department with specialist coaches, despite Mauricio Pochettino dismissing their importance last month. Goes on to say Chelsea say Pochettino has been involved in the process in spite of his apparent scepticism over the need for set-piece specialists. And yeah, not too long ago, he said that it wasn't important. Now, look, am I against having a set-piece department? No. Most clubs have a set-piece department. In fact, all top clubs should have a set-piece department or set-piece coach. However, a set-piece coach that's part of the coaching staff that you have at the club. I want a set-piece coach that's going to be brought in by the manager. If Poch isn't going to do it, then I'm sorry. Poch has no idea what he's doing. But that doesn't mean for the club to go and get him now. That way, when you get the new manager, he's had no say. I would want, and look, I appreciate we've got set-piece problems, 100%. And we haven't even got set-piece problems as much in terms of scoring. We've got problems in terms of set-piece defending. That's the issue here. It's not about how well we do up top in terms of goals. We've been linked with Brighton's set-piece staff because they're so good at set-pieces. But they're so good at set-pieces in terms of scoring. In terms of scoring set pieces, yes, you can say we lack, but my concern is about how we defend set pieces. Are Brighton solid with defending set pieces? They're 16th in the league at the moment. So I find it like we're doing the correct job backwards. We're looking for the right thing, but we're doing it in the wrong way. We need to sort out who we're actually going to bring in as a manager first. And like I've said, I would only go to that if we sort out upstairs first. That would be the sequence of events. Sort upstairs first, get the manager in, then go to the details. We're looking to sort out the detail, to then get the new manager in, to then look how it's going to work with it's in reverse. It's in reverse. It's gone backwards. So as much as I appreciate this is a good thing, I feel like the methodology is wrong. We're doing it in a contradictory sense. I would like us to be able to know who we're bringing in. Get the manager in. Then confide in the manager, listen, your coaching staff, have you got a set-piece specialist as part of your coaching staff? No. Okay, let's go and get one. We need one. You're here now. We've hired you. We want to see your input in terms of how you want us to play, our system, how you defend, how you attack, how you place your set pieces, your strategy in terms of offensive set piece or defending a set piece. What do you do? And who can we find that's going to align with that in order to get the team playing in the way that you want us to play? That's how I feel like it should be done. In fact, looks like we're going in the other direction. So that's my only critique to it. Correct thing, poor methodology. But we're basing it on data. Because if you actually go to the data, like I've said, all decisions are based on data. If you go to the data, right? And it's public information, you can go and check it out, right? On the metrics, Brentford's strong point, set pieces. So we've gone with the data. All right, go to Brentford. Nick their set piece specialist because they're good with set pieces. So we're going to go and do that. How about at first we actually figure out how to play football, how to do our thing first, and then those little details come after, you know? Anyway, let's move to the Brentford game, talking about Brentford. And you know what? We'll find out tomorrow. We'll find out tomorrow. We're playing them tomorrow. We'll find out exactly how it's all going to go down tomorrow. That I'm looking forward to, especially in terms of set pieces. Now, just to let you guys know, in terms of the watch-along tomorrow, there might be a watch-along, there might not be a watch-along. I'm personally unsure in terms of when I'm going to be back and available to be able to get on. If I'm late, I'm late, and then I don't want to really get on if I'm proper late and start in Start after half an hour is gone. It's just, I'm unsure in terms of my time frame. So for tomorrow only, there might not be a watch-along. There might be a watch-along. Keep your eyes peeled. If you're subscribed and you've hit the notification bell, you'll be notified if I do go live or when it's scheduled and I'm about to go live. So make sure you keep your eyes peeled. The next one will definitely be the Newcastle game. Do we play Newcastle next? We play Newcastle on the 12th, if I'm not mistaken. Or is it the 11th? The 10th? Somewhere there. Okay, yeah. We play on the 11th against Newcastle and, Monday night. So I will be there for that 100%, and then it's all as normal afterwards. But tomorrow, keep your eyes peeled. Might not. I'm unsure. So I'll keep you guys posted. In terms of team news, Nkunku is injured and he's got a hamstring problem. Brilliant. It's incredible. He's actually got a new issue. He had a problem with his knee, now he's got a hamstring. It's absolutely baffling. At the same time, it's not entirely new for him because he did have that problem whilst he was at Leipzig. So that's something to bear in mind. But apart from that, Thiago Silva looking like he could be available, as well as Marco Correa facing a late fitness test. So those two guys could be available, but it's unsure. Apart from that, the same old names are all out. We know. For Brentford, Ben Mee is out for the season. He fractured his ankle on Monday, so he's going to be out. Aaron Hickley, who's not played since October, has had a recovery. Has had a setback in his recovery from a hamstring injury, so he won't be able to play. But Ivan Toney, ready to go. So it's not going to be easy now that Ivan Toney's back, if I'm being completely honest. With how we are defensively sometimes, we have to be solid. Talking about the starting 11 now, how should we do it? Let's get into it. Here it is. I've got it on screen for you immediately so we don't waste time. I don't want the preview to be too long. But I've got it here and I'm gonna explain. So the back four is the back four. I want to try and keep the back four as consistent as possible, right? For me, the Sassi's had a howler. But you know what? It'd be fair to just keep the same centre-back pairing that I think we can run with. If we see that something's going wrong, bring Thiago Silva on immediately. But this is the thing, Thiago Silva, whether we like it or not, is not someone that we're going to have to rely on for 90 minutes every single week. He just can't do it. The legs are gone. He's someone you bring in with 20 minutes to go. Or to start one game and to play one game. Perhaps, yes. But to do that every single game, you can't. It's Thiago Silva, man. He's nearly 40. I wish he was younger because he'd be the first name on the team sheet if he was younger, without question. But this Hassie Colwell... Let's see how it goes. If Ivan Toney's running them ragged, to be honest, Thiago Silva, can he keep up with Ivan Toney? The experience might be able to kick in. That's what we can do. So, those are the two centre-backs I'd start with. Gusto on the right, for obvious reasons, and Chilwell on the left, for obvious reasons. In goal, by the way, Pochettino said that he's made up his decision. The players know, but he's not going to say. I'm just saying, it better be Petrovic. It better be. If it's Sanchez, we're kicking off. You might not see me for that. Because again, I might be on the watch long, I might not. If I'm not, you won't see my immediate reaction. But I will be here for the review. Without question, I will be here. So make sure you catch the reaction then if the watch along isn't on. But Petrovic, he better start. Without question, he's number one now. Done. Game, set and match. Petrovic is number one. So, midfield, Enzo, Caicedo and Conor Gallagher. Retrospectively, it's all we can really do. So those three have to start. Some would argue the Conor Gallagher point, but I think in the game that we saw against Leeds, that's a clear indicator as why sometimes that sort of player comes in clutch. And if we don't have him in that position, who are we playing in the 10? Now, Mudryk played in the 10 for a duration of that game against Leeds. And this is why I'm starting him, because for that game itself, it was positive. It was positive. I have to stress against Leeds, right? I'm putting him in the starting 11 because it can't get much worse. For me, Sterling, he got booed off the pitch against Leeds. That tells you everything you need to know. He's too inconsistent and too lazy sometimes, man. Sometimes he wants to look like he is the guy and he ends up flipping, getting a goal or two and all of a sudden man of the match. But most times, loses the ball, gets into bad positions, makes the wrong final decision. The same old Raheem Sterling thing. So you know what? It can't get much worse. Mudryk had a good game against Leeds. Cool. Play him and let's see what happens. But personally, I got to be real. I don't have high hopes on Mudryk. I'm talking in the long run. I don't feel like he's going to hack Premier League football. He played against Leeds, championship team, good championship team. They will be back, I reckon. They will get promoted. So, you know, they're in that bracket. But Premier League, week in, week out, Mudryk, personally, I don't feel like he's got the mental capacity to be able to hack the highest level. I think Mudryk is the sort of player that you could end up playing for a mid-table side. I did an Instagram Q&A earlier on, so make sure you're jumping on the Younes Talks Football Instagram, and I'm going to be holding those Q&As because that was actually quite a lot of fun. Go and check it out if you haven't done so already. The posts are still there in the stories. But someone asked me about Mudryk. What's your thoughts on Mudryk? And I said immediately, gym freak, fast. He's a pace merchant, that's for sure. The guy runs like he's a 100-meter sprinter. He is quick, right? Adama Traore. He can dribble to an extent. I mean, on the ball, right? He's got capacity to dribble. He's fast and he's a gym freak. Cool. That's Adama Traore. But has he got the intelligence? Has he got the capacity? Has he got the know-how to play at the highest level? To make it as a top winger? I doubt it. I don't feel like he's able to read the game at that level. So for me, mid-table, Premier League side, which funnily enough is what we are at the moment. So maybe he starts. But again, like I referenced Traore was never going to play for Man City or, respectively for us, Chelsea at our time, or Arsenal, Liverpool, Man United. He was never going to be that guy, right? Wolves, sounds about right. So Mudryk, same sort of bracket as far as I'm concerned. But we've got nothing to lose. I'd rather play Mudryk and see what we can get than play Sterling and know what I'm going to get. Maybe Mudryk might surprise us. Maybe. And up top, Jackson. Palmer on the right, of course, without question. He's got his place nailed down. He's the only guy I can look at and go, you're fine, mate. Cole Palmer. And congrats to Cole Palmer. He won Young London Footballer of the Year. Frank Lampard gave him that award in person. Congrats to Cole Palmer. Absolutely deserved. So there's that. Jackson up top because we ain't got another striker. That's basically it. So let me know if you agree. But that is my starting 11. And my prediction... Man. I didn't want to do one against Leeds because I genuinely did not know what was going to happen. And look, I think no one did. And respectfully, even the teams didn't. I mean, it was close. We nearly threw the game away. So, Brentford, the record is bad. But I can't ignore that Brentford have just been so poor, man. I'm going to go a draw. We're due a draw. I'm going to go 1-1. I think we should win. I just don't trust us. And I know Brentford are poor, but I don't trust Brentford to play poor tomorrow. I feel like there's an element of Charity FC and an element of Brentford going, guys, it's Chelsea, come on, we can do this. That might nullify itself and they'll finish 1-1. That's my prediction. I'm going 1-1. Let me know your predictions down below. I'm going Tony to score, and then for us, I actually don't know. Palmer, maybe. We'll see. Let me know your predictions down in the comment section below. Much appreciated. And don't forget, make sure you're hitting the subscribe button and the notification bell to be notified. Keep your eyes peeled. I'll keep you updated on socials as well. If there's a watch long, I'll know about it. If there isn't, then I'll let you know. But at the same time, keep your eyes peeled. If I go live, you will be notified. And if I don't go live, then you won't be notified. So simple as that. So I'll see all of you tomorrow for the review. Regardless, I will be here for the review at the bare minimum. And if I'm here for the watch long, then I'll see you then. So thank you all so much, people. Have a good one. See you lot tomorrow. Take care and peace.